Welcome to the Perfectly Sane Show, episode 719. I am Chris, as always, joined by Tony.
The lines are real. They're spectacular. Eventually.
Okay. Jeff is here as well.
Hello. Oh.
So what's up, guys? It's a Switch 2 pre-order day.
Woohoo! I hope everyone had a good time celebrating, especially Jeff.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a great night. Loved it.
Yeah, it was I believe that all three of us secured a Switch 2.
Yes.
And I believe Earl did as well. He can tell us when he gets here. But yeah, last night they went the online orders for three of. It was only three. I think it was with Target, Best Buy, and Walmart.
Yeah, I looked at some other sites. Amazon didn't have it up. Like that. None of the other ones I checked had anything.
Yeah, and GameStop was today at 11. But we all tried to get on. You two were more successful.
Yeah.
at least getting it in the cart and starting the transaction.
Jeff. Poor Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff did not complete the transaction.
Yeah, I got.
How'd that go, Jeff?
I got in at Walmart, and it kind of does the thing where, like, when you're trying to buy tickets on Ticketmaster, like you're on, which I don't understand, but whatever. And finally, I got to where, like, it was like your card was declined, suspicious activity, like, and normally, like, let's say you're doing a purchase like that, my bank would text me and be like, "Hey, is this you trying to do this? Reply yes if you are," you know? And it didn't fucking do that. So yeah. Like, I'm bank's app, and I could see my card shut down. It wants me to call a number instead of just saying we're all good. And I call the number, and it was literally, I was on hold waiting for 22 minutes for someone to talk to.
Oh no!
And I'm guessing the reason is
the clock is counting down, right? You have like 10 minutes to buy the thing.
I don't even know if there was a clock on it or whatever. It was long gone by the time I got it all straightened out. It was gone. Yeah. But yeah, I'm guessing that the wait was so long is because they shut off a bunch of people's fucking cards as they were trying to purchase a fucking Switch. And I'm like, at this point, I'm fucking
there
hammered.
Probably were fraud attempts by somebody at that
maybe,
point.
Yeah.
I'm
hammered after fucking midnight. I
was trigger. Drunk.
Yeah.
Wonder if it's a trigger for, like, all these people are trying to buy from Walmart at one time.
Yeah, like something in the bank software that says, like, all these transactions at this one IP address. Ergo simultaneously must be.
Yeah. What should be like what you said, Jeff, or they reach out to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I finally I could barely talk. I was just like, I was trying to pre-order Switch 2 and blah, 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 blah. I was like mumbling to her, and she's just like, okay, we gotta turn it back. Everything should be fine now. I'm like, and I was like, I was nice to her. I like, totally, it's not her fault or anything. I was just like, I'm like, yeah, but like the transaction didn't go through, right? She's like, well, no, but you could do it now just fine. I was like, yeah, now it's too late, but thank you. And after I hung up with her, then I got the text again, like, hey, was this you trying to over a half hour later? Yeah, dude, it's too late now. I look at my bank account this morning.
That's horrible.
My bank account this morning was goddamn mess. There was two $500 and whatever transactions at Walmart, and then two $500 like reversals. It's like, god damn it. And but because Melissa got through on Walmart, and she got one, and so I just said, "That's the living room one, and here's $600."
You just like
you like bribe your wife.
Oh, okay. So Jeff sends me a text this morning and is like we were just going back and forth. He's like, yeah, Melissa got $600. And I was like, wait, did they reverse her call? Did they reverse her order as well? And that's what you meant. You just were like, here's the money. This is the communal one.
It was from the bank of Jeff.
The funny thing is,
it never gets declined.
I was worried to sell her the money at this point because I'm like, my bank is like suspicious of everything I'm doing now. And we were joking too that she got it because she's like a Walmart Plus member. I'm like, I bet you they did get some sort of preference in that line, you know. Although
it might have, yeah.
So I was able.
We should have two. We should have two. What's that? You got your Walmart.
So I got. So here's what I had 3 computers open. I got my gaming laptop open, my kid's gaming desktop open, and then my work laptop. And each one is on Target, one is on Best Buy, and one is on Walmart. And so I got them all 3 going at the same time. And of course, Best Buy is not loading. They didn't launch at midnight. It was like 18, 20 minutes after midnight. I keep refreshing that one over and over. And I got the same thing you did at Walmart. It immediately put me in a line. Target was a wash. Like I don't know how it happened immediately, right? They just all sold out.
Yeah, I posted that in our group chat, the screenshot of like it was 12:02 on my screen, and it was just pre-orders sold out.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm sitting there like refreshing the Best Buy site over and over and over again while I'm waiting in the line and joking how like I hope the line's not a myth. Like, is this actually real? Like, what's going on? While refreshing the Best Buy site over and over and over again, which is why I knew the minute pre-orders went up. But of course, the moment I get into the the site for Best Buy, it also puts me in a line.
Yes.
Now I'm sitting here staring at 2 different lines. I'm like, what is going to happen? At some point, I forgot about my work laptop, which is what was connected to Walmart, and I just looked down at it. I'm like, "Oh, I'm up! Like it's in my cart now." So I instantly okay, I'm buying this. I got it. It's mine. I really wanted it on Best Buy, for like the rewards points and everything. That did not end up happening. But I accidentally, I did it. I forgot. I went to bed. At some point in the middle of the night, I actually got offered one from Best Buy as well. Like I woke up that morning and it was in my cart. Of course, as soon as I tried to do anything with it, it was gone. Like it wasn't there.
Yeah.
I could have gotten 2. There was the potential for getting 2 if I wanted to.
In all the chaos of with us trying to get it from Walmart, I was doing the same thing as you with Best Buy. And at first, it was just like something went wrong. Please refresh. And it was just like you said. They're like Wario was posting on Twitter like, "Hey, Best Buy's not up yet." So, but in all this confusion, at some point I got in line at Best Buy, and then there's a text from me to my wife at 12:45. Completely forgot about Best Buy, which says I'm still online. This is like after I got off the phone with my bank. But I guess I don't really remember what happened. I think I just like what you said. I got through, and it was like it's gone now. Or whatever. Like I guess I forgot about it. I probably came up at some point while I was on the phone with the bank.
Well, Walmart once it was available on the Walmart site, it started like a 10-minute clock, and if you hadn't bought it in the 10 minutes, it was gone. And I'm assuming Best Buy did something similar.
Yeah, they released the stock back to be purchased by somebody else.
I didn't notice the clock. Maybe I would have scrambled even harder to get my. Again, why did they should have just fucking texted me? So, anyways, in this house, we should have 2 Switches coming, but it's just going to be the one for now. I was like, look, I paid you for it, and,
And you will be playing Mario Kart World.
Yeah.
Hopefully more, show up over the next, we're really close to launch. Like it's only 6 weeks away or something like that now. So I don't know if they'll do a second round of pre-orders, like Sony did for PlayStation 5, but
I bet they will.
They have been in Europe.
Yeah.
Like they've already done a second round in Europe, so
I really expected it to be. I mean, it kind of went how you expected it, like just complete shit show. But I did expect most of us to just be like, nope, couldn't get it, man. We got fucked over. And
yeah, I was expecting not to get one.
Yeah.
I think I got lucky with the PS5. I think Xbox, I had to get it in like the second round or something. Maybe it was the other way around. Maybe I got the Xbox first, able to get a PS5 later.
Both of those took a minute for me. PS5 to the point where I was just like, I'll check back in a year, and then I just saw it in a store one day and bought it. But Switch 2, baby.
Yeah, I went physically to a GameStop and pre-ordered there. So
who does things in person?
Yeah,
it's probably the safest bet. Like have to compete against everyone else trying to, everyone else crashing their sites.
Yeah,
and I can go on I mean, I have to go pick it up, but I can go on midnight on the 4th and just pick it up from there. So you guys will be waiting for your shipment.
I think does yours say it's coming the 5th?
The 6th.
Or the 6th.
It's shipping, the 6th.
Yeah,
so
but I think
shipping yours out on the 5th.
Yeah, but it says it'll be there by like 9 a.m.
Yeah, that's what mine says. 9 a.m. on the 6th.
Yeah.
So
when I'm calling in sick to work.
That's what day though? Is that a Friday?
Yeah, the 6th is a Friday. So I'll be able to talk about the Switch 2 when we record on Thursday, and then you guys will be able to enjoy it the next day.
I can't.
And it gets delivered to your houses. Oh no!
I'll be home long enough to get the package, and then I'll stick it in my living room, and then
have to leave. Yeah,
have to leave.
But we did all at least secure one. Sean, our buddy Sean, he tried, not very hard. It doesn't seem. I think he just got caught up in the, hey, everybody else is doing it. Let me try too. And he kind of had the same experience I did, where it was like we went to Target and we were able to get it in our carts, and then it just kept crashing. And by the time we got into either the Walmart or Best Buy line, it was too late. But Switch 2s all around. Earl, I think, got from Walmart as well. So, but that's about 6 weeks away. So we'll be talking more about it then. But there were some games that came out this week. Well, I guess we'll start with the one that was just kind of, we talked a little bit about it last week because it was rumored that the Oblivion remaster, is what they're calling it, was set to be revealed and possibly released this week. And they did. They just dropped it on Tuesday.
I thought you guys shut me down on it. Because I said that
we were pretty convinced it didn't make any sense to release. I still don't think it does.
Still doesn't make any sense. Like I have zero understanding. Like when you have like a huge, maybe not huge, but they spent time giving Clair Obscur Expedition 33 time at their winter conference. So they clearly have some push behind that, and it just didn't make any sense. They just released South of Midnight. They have Doom coming in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I didn't understand why they would drop it this week. But
the unfortunate thing, is for people like me who are obsessed with these Bethesda games, of course I'm going to play that and not play the brand new game that just came out that I was also hyped for. Put
great reviews,
cocaine in front of me. Thank you.
Yeah,
and it takes absolutely no effort to convince me to play Oblivion. It's just done. I think you and Sean said that the beginning of the game was slightly depressing. I'm like, oh, I played 2 depressing games in a row. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, we'll get back to Clair Obscura, but yeah, that game has a very depressing opening. I don't necessarily think it's a depressing game, but yeah, definitely does not start off cheery or fast. But Jeff, you're playing Oblivion. Tony, you will be playing Oblivion if you haven't played it yet. So
yeah, I haven't had a chance to get into it yet, but there'll be a lot of Oblivion this weekend.
It's Jeff. I think you said it is 120 some gigs.
Yes.
What you also told me that how big the 360 one was. It's like 6 gigs or something like that.
Yes, 6 gigs to 123 gigs.
Wow.
I understand that this has all the DLC, but again, it's just like it looks good. It looks really good now. There's that.
Pixels are heavy. They're heavy. They weigh a lot.
But you've been playing it, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm having a blast with it. Actually, like, it's funny because I couldn't tell you what, if anything, is different other than the graphics are clearly redone.
Looks much better, yeah.
Yeah, but I have not played Oblivion since like the launch of the 360 or whenever. I think it came out near the launch of 360, like maybe the first year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And ever since Skyrim came out, I haven't touched it. And going back to it now, again, I don't know if maybe there's certain things are changed, some quality of life things. I don't know, but it is a blast. And like, there's something about games from that era, from that generation. Like, it plays way more fun than a Bethesda RPG does now in a way. Like, yeah, there's like janky things about it. Like, maybe the combat's not amazing, but it's just fun to play. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like even just down to your character movement. Like, you just asked, and it's not trying to be too realistic or anything. I think as we've gotten, to their newer RPGs, like, something to sacrifice in the gameplay to just do, like, be trying to do realism and better graphics. And good old Oblivion is still very fun to play. And I've just been mostly I've been fucking around. I did some of the main quests. I hit a dead end, and then I started doing the Dark Brotherhood, and I've just been going around killing people. I hit a dead end with that too because I had to get in this guy's house, and my lockpick up to snuff. Also, I will say this: I think the lockpicking does suck in Oblivion. It's not as good as like their newer games, but hopefully I get that skill up.
Refresh my memory. How does it work in Oblivion?
It's like you're moving a needle through a tumbler. You like just have to like push each pin up.
Oh, okay.
and then hit unlock if you have all pin up time. But like, I don't get like what the trick to it is. If there's like 3 or 4 pins you have to push up, like, I don't get how you get all 3 of them up at the same time because one will just fall. Like, maybe I'm just not fast enough. I don't get it. Like, I don't get how the lockpicking thing works. So I tend to just do the auto unlock.
Mm-hmm.
But my skill is just not up. Like, this house I'm trying to get into to kill this guy, there's no way that, like, I could use every lockpick I have, like, and just do auto unlock, and it's never going to unlock because my skill's not high enough.
And Oblivion has like the more you lockpick, the better you get at lockpicking, right?
Yeah. I don't think that I could independently, make it easier for me. It's just doing it a lot. Or I guess if I had chosen a character, a different was more, came out of the box with better lockpicking, I guess. But maybe I should have thought about that. I didn't know, because the lockpicking in all the other games is like pretty easy, whatever. But
generally pretty good, yeah. Like, you just you put the 2 little lockpick things in and twirl them around until the lockpick either breaks or it opens.
Yeah, that would be the one thing that I for sure prefer in like Skyrim and etc. But like, man, Oblivion. Maybe Tony like played more of Oblivion and he could speak to this better. But like, Oblivion is just like awesome. It's just a blast, dude. Like,
it was great. Oblivion was the game that made the Xbox 360 for me. Like, I think it was the first game that I played obsessively on that console. So good. I love going to the Oblivion gates. The world, I think, is big. It's not like Skyrim big, but it was big enough where it was like the biggest game that I had ever played at that point. And like that moment when you get out of the dungeons and like into the light is so cool. And you finally see the world for what it is. It's really awesome.
Yeah, you could tell just by looking at the map that it's just not as big as Skyrim. But like,
I think the story is better than the Skyrim story too. If I remember
so like
correctly.
To what you were saying is like, oh, like Oblivion made the 360, and I get that, and I agree with it and all that stuff, but it just feels like Oblivion got overshadowed and forgotten once Skyrim came out.
Yeah.
And now going back to it, I'm like, I kind of prefer this. It's just kind of more fun, and like you said, like story wise, it's better. Like I like the beginning better too, getting out of the dungeon. I think that's neat. Like I don't know, I really dig it. You know what else is neat about it? Like, I don't know if I'd like this or not, actually, but you could fast travel all over a map without having like discovered everything. Like, you could like fast travel the towns you haven't been to. Like, that seems like a cheat. Yeah, like not everything. Like, you know, you like you will sap as you go around. But like a lot of the major like towns, their markers are already there, and you're free to like fast travel places you have not been yet.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that kind of then you don't have to find a cart or whatever it is. I forget what it was in Skyrim that you go from town that you hadn't been to yet.
I think you can get a horsey.
The horse is immortal, right? Unlike the one in the other game. Die.
You definitely do get a horse in Skyrim. You can give it some armor too.
Yeah, I have not done that yet. There's so much I haven't done. It's almost like playing a new game. Like I did remember getting out of the prison at the beginning. Like I was like, oh yeah, I remember this part. You follow the king around, right?
Patrick Stewart.
But like other, it's like I don't like him.
Yeah, king.
Yeah, it's Patrick Stewart. He's only in it for like that little bit though, right?
Yeah, that's his entire. But it's cool to hear his voice, and like that's the initial thing at the beginning.
Yeah. And it looks pretty, Jeff.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. Like, you know, not as amazing as another game we're about to talk about, but yeah, when you look at it side by side of it and the original, it's like there's no denying that they put a lot of work into redoing the graphics for this.
There was a batshit bananas article on Polygon talking about like how they thought the original like looked better. Like at everybody in the comments, like you are fucking insane. Like this is more vibrant. It's more like outside of, you know, just the textures being better and like sharper and things looking more real. Like it just the colors pop more in this, and
dude, it's
nuts.
I've seen bozos say stuff about, oh, they fucked up the graphics. So I'm like, I don't know, dude. To me, like, inarguably better. And it's still just a blast, man.
Yeah, when like
I lose a lot of time.
It's kind of crazy because you can load up Oblivion on the 360 right now. Like you can load them up, play both side by side. Like one looks better.
Yeah,
and it's not the older one.
If you don't like it, play the older one, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my new achievement. And also, like I said, it's been so long. This is almost like I got a new Elder Scrolls like out of the fucking blue that I'll be easily able to sink like
it's
hundreds
been like
of hours in.
What, 19 years? Like I don't remember most of this game. It'll be great to go through again. I didn't remember so much of Skyrim, so it's kind of like
Yeah, I mean, Skyrim was 14 years ago at this point. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I was a baby when this game came out. I mean,
good stuff. I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad both of you are playing it, going to be enjoying it. I'll probably wait a little bit because Clair Obscur Expedition 33 also came out this week. But before Jeff and I talk about that, welcome, Earl.
King of Babies, Earl is here.
What's up?
So we talked about how we all got a Switch too. Just wanted to confirm that in theory we have orders in for Switch 2s that haven't been canceled.
As I said, I've seen people who got it from Target and stuff who orders were canceled. So I assume they were on those. They were probably just an automation. But yes, I got mine via Walmart last night after their very weird queue system. Because there was no like actual feedback that anything was happening.
Yeah, Jeff, you mentioned it was kind of like the Ticketmaster one, but the Ticketmaster one at least has like a line that goes across. Like,
yeah.
I had it on my laptop that was sitting on the floor. I just happened to glance down and see, oh, hey, there it is. Like, I'm out of the queue.
It was pure
surprise.
Pure suspense. Like, me and my wife were in the garage fucking ripping down cigarettes, and she's just like, oh, I'm afraid of anything else on my phone right now, and like I don't know what's going on. Like, it's not telling me. Like, I don't know if it's broken, like if I'm actually still in line. Like, it would be help that if there was some sort of feedback as to like or update. Yeah,
I kept on the event, and because you go press a button, like stay in line but continue shopping just to like feel something. And it wasn't even that it told me it was open. I was like on Blue Sky, on Resetra, and people were like, "Oh, just refresh," and everybody's getting in. I'm like, "Refresh!" I got in. I was not I was not anticipating they were going to charge me the entire thing last night. So that was a bit of a surprise because my bank's like, "Hey, I think there's some fraud in your card." I'm like, no.
Jeff. But at least they called you and asked you. They didn't. They just closed Jeff's card. We're like, freeze. Give us a call.
Yeah, at like 1 a.m.
This is why I bought it with PayPal.
Yeah.
I was not. I honestly, the reason I didn't buy it with PayPal is because PayPal is connected to my debit card. I should fix that. And I think I get like 1.5% back on my credit card. Like, listen, this expensive of a product, I want to get some money back on it. It's also why I want to do Best Buy because Best Buy, my Best Buy, I forget how much you get for each buck you spend or whatever.
Yeah.
But I will also say this. I don't know if you folks talked about this. As much as I'm excited that I'm happy that I got a pre-order, I don't know if I'm going to keep it.
What? You're lying.
I'll take it.
That is a lie. That is false, Earl.
Well, in the sense that I think we discussed this last time I was on the show 2 weeks ago. No, maybe. Is that I'm happy that it stayed the same price, but I feel like I'm getting it more because I don't want to go up after the tariffs. I like Mario Kart. I like Mario Kart. I don't know if Mario Kart's a $500 system seller for me.
You have Donkey Kong a month later, though.
Yeah, and again, I would like at the end of the year, I think it's worth it, and I might just keep it for that. But yeah, I was just looking at the launch lineup, and I'm just
it's light.
Mario Kart for like it's light-ish, and like there's a bunch of games if you've really owned no other system for like the past 10 years.
Yes, like if you're buying it for Switch 2 games, it is very light.
It's light, but I feel like there is going to be something every month from Nintendo, and we just don't know what that is beyond.
And that's fine. And that is something that I personally would prefer waiting until all those games are out. But I feel like I'm just gonna end up buying like Welcome Tour because I need a second game at some point. I'm that broken of an individual. I mean, I will most likely keep it because worst case scenario, can flip it for a couple of bucks, but. It's not like I'm not gonna buy one. I guess it's the ultimate. So I might as well.
You're gonna want a Switch 2 regardless. So
Yes, I just need, and again, like by the end of the year, Metroid Prime 4, Hyrule Warriors, whatever the Tears of the Kingdom one is, Pokemon ZA, Donkey Kong Mario. There are going to be games by the end of the year. I don't know if you talked about that, but Chris mentioned in the group chat. It has been one hell of a
Wild,
4 months. It's been a one hell of a week.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of games I'm interested in, and again, there's smaller stuff you can get, and I like that it's backwards compatible. Like the GameCube stuff is neat, but I love Wind Waker. I played it when it came out. I played it on the Wii U. I don't think I need to play it again on the GameCube. Soul Calibur would be fun to revisit for like 10 minutes, and then realize I suck at fighting games. So yeah, we shall see.
So, question for you guys: like the Switch retro stuff, it's all online enabled, right?
Yes.
So will we be able to play Soul Calibur 2?
You should.
Over that? All right. We should do that. Like, we could all be bad at fighting games.
Soul Calibur. Yeah. But Soul Calibur, I don't remember that game being like a hard game to fight the computer on. Like,
it's not a hard game.
Yeah.
On a 3D game, I just like there's also just a thing like it being hard and like being good at a game are two different things.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But no, like yes, I'm excited. That ultimately I'm really excited for that in the grand scheme of the GameCube Online, because like when they do like not Link's Awakening, what is it called? Force Those Adventures, stuff like that. If they do like Mario Kart Double Dash, like with the N64, they released a bunch of the old school Mario parties. Mario Party 4 is my personal favorite. I think, like your personal favorites, whichever one you did in high school, college for. Stuff like that I'm really excited for. Again, there's a lot to look forward to. It's just like I'm just thinking day one, $500 is so much. Is Mario Kart worth it? I will have a ton of fun with Mario Kart, but it's like it's gonna make a weekend, and then when are folks around to play with me?
I will play with you, Earl. We will play Mario Kart together. All of us, since we all have a Switch too, we could all play Mario Kart together and
I'll be playing a ton
use their funky ass chat feature.
Yeah.
I mean, it is free for the first, not even first 9 months or something like that.
Oh, you don't need the Switch Online for the first 9 months, or
yeah, I think
or you do need it.
Not for Switch Online, for Game Chat. I think Game Chat is free until the end of March of next year.
Okay.
Because I think Game Chat is folded into the NSO stuff at the end. I don't know. It's confusing.
I thought it was part of the expansion pass.
But it itself, I think, is free until. So like that is weird. Like you mentioned that, I'm like, yeah, that's free, but you still have to pay for online anyhow. So you lose out on half the features if you can't like play with your friends and see their screen while you're playing in furious 5 frames per second.
Can't wait to try that out. It's gonna be horrible. All right. Well, we'll try to convince Earl over the next 6 weeks to maintain his pre-order and play Mario Kart with us. But getting back to one of the other big releases of the week, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 came out today, Jeff?
Yeah. Was it today? Oh my god.
It's hard to remember.
I've been playing it all day.
Yeah. And it feels like we've talked about it a ton.
Yeah, we've been talking about it all day.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like we've had like way more conversation about this game than like we normally would have with another game. Yeah. So Jeff and I have both been playing it. Jeff's played probably way more than me, not a whole lot. I have made it through the prologue and the first area of the first act. Jeff, how far in are you?
Wait, have you not gotten to Floating Waters?
No, so I got to the tree that had the red 33 on it. So I beat like the first, and that was where I kind of ran back to a flag, saved, and then closed it down.
Oh my god!
Other things to do. So like that's right where I'm at.
Oh my god! I don't want to like overhype it, but like, oh my god, dude! Like after that area, like you're getting in the next area called Floating Waters, and it is like it's like you're walking down, like it's like you're walking on the bottom of the ocean. It is beautiful. That game is a fucking looker, and on top of it, once you get into that area, and then I'm in an area after that now. I've actually beat the second big boss. But in both of these new areas I've gone through, not only do they look incredible, but the music in the boss fights is just so fucking good. Like, I'm going to be checking to see if this fucking soundtrack is on Apple Music tomorrow. And if it is, I'll be listening to it all day. The combat songs are so fucking good in this game. Dude, I am in RPG heaven this week. Like, oh my god, dude.
So I guess we should kind of like lay out what this is. Although Jeff immediately was like, "I'm not paying attention to this story."
I thought it was. I guess I was half paying attention, but I was just like, "What is like? Why did this girl disappear? And like, aren't they the same age?" And all I get, this is all I could. And I'll let you. All I get out of the story is that like, there's this thing that's killing people, and like they keep sending expeditions out to try to go stop it. But nobody, you're expedition number 33. But explain it better than I could, Chris, because I don't know what the fuck's going on.
So, well, I mean, they call it Lumiere, which is the city that you're in. Just looks like old school Paris, though. In fact, the opening shot I think is pretty neat. It like has like this folded over Eiffel Tower looking thing. But you start out, you are Gustav, and hey, you got to go talk to your ex-girlfriend, and then as you talk to her, you kind of like start walking. I have to go to the harbor. Not really sure what's going on yet. Like early on, as you're walking to the harbor and you're talking to other people, you start to get the idea that she has to go on some sort of journey. They have a name for it, the gamage or something like that. So you're walking with her. It's very slow. It takes quite a while. You're not moving very fast because it's like you're supposed to be taking all this in, except you don't really know what the fuck's going on. You get to the harbor, and you kind of realize that like these people are all going to their death. Anybody that has like the flowers on, are they're going to die. You're not sure exactly how, but I thought they were going to get on ships. But then this big creature appears out on the horizon. She changes that. There's a big number that's glowing. It says 34 when the game starts. And she wipes it away and writes 33. And as she does that, all the people wearing these red and white flowers disappear. They just like evaporate. So like you're there with your ex-girlfriend who is the love of your life, and she just like, it's like Thanos snapped her out of fucking existence. Except like you have this like long period, like everybody else just kind of disappears, but you have a conversation with her before it happens. And it's kind of like this, it feels very Logan's Runny, like where at a certain age, people like there's nobody old in this town. So at a certain age, you either go on the expedition or you are snapped out of existence. And so Gustav has decided he's going to fight. He's going to go on the expedition. And Sophie, his girlfriend, has like resigned herself to her fate. She didn't want to stay with him because staying with somebody kind of is like, hey, we should have kids. And she doesn't want to bring kids into this shit ass world where in 30 years or so, you're going to fucking die. So she snapped out of existence. Gustav is part of this expedition. There's a whole crew of these people. And he has 1 year left basically, before he gets snapped out of existence. So they all hop on this boat, they go off, and then immediately all of them get fucking wiped out. Like Gustav ends up, he wakes up in like a cave somewhere. Everybody else dead. And so like you start moving on from there. And it seems like what the idea is this expedition, they go out to this island and they're trying to find a way to kill the painter, who is the paintress, I think they call her. And she's this big god that has been doing this for the last 100 years. Well, last 67 years.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like counting down in reverse each expedition, right? So, like, theoretically, if there was a sequel to this game, it would be Expedition 32, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah, I mean, we don't know where it ends up.
Or whatever, yeah.
But yeah, the next expedition will be Expedition 32, the one after that, 31.
Kind of convoluted, but also, okay, it's like a setup for an RPG. Cool. You know, I don't know. I wasn't like as enamored by that as you. I was just, it turned into instant RPG gobbledygook to me where I was just like, I don't care.
When it's very slow, it's.
Yeah, which I also don't like, you know.
Yeah. Sean was complaining about it too, being kind of slow. And I was like, it's not that bad because you're done the prologue in like under an hour.
I thought the prologue was terrible. Like, and I'm not even talking about that aspect of it, because it dumps you out at this festival, and it's just like, hey, like, I don't know, go talk to people or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, the game has no map. Like, you know what the game badly needs? This is like the one thing I'll say bad about it. Is markers. That it needs a map, or it needs the thing from South of Midnight where you click the right stick and it shows you where to go. Because I can't tell you how many times I finished a battle and then I'm turned around after the battle, like, and I walk back a half a mile the way I came from because everything looks the same. I'm just like, I please have a map.
Like that first, the first area that you wake up in is like this cave where there's just like dead bodies everywhere, and you could get turned around real easily there.
Dude, it happens to me all the time. I'll finish a battle, and like they might, like at the end of the battle, they might have you facing the way that you came in, and you just think, oh, I'm going this way, and I end up backtracking for no reason at all, except that the game has no navigation. That's the one bad thing about it. But in the prologue, that's not even the problem really with the prologue, is just they just dump you in this festival. There's like a bunch of people there, like 30 people at least, I'd say. And you can talk to all of them, and it gives you no objective of what to do. And I'm just like,
they do. They
like, you should talk to
you need to talk to your basically your stepsister, and then your little, what do you call them, apprentices. So if you talk to them, it triggers the next thing, and then they're like, hey, you should go talk to your sister, which will trigger the next thing. But yeah, there's no, like, you don't know where they are.
You don't know where they are. If you
know
don't
where your sister is, but
I didn't know. I don't know if I don't remember what they look like.
Like she comes walking down the stairs, and your apprentices are like, oh, your sister's here. You should go talk to her. And if you look all across the festival, like, she's still standing there. Because they don't move. They're all static.
Oh, no, I'm talking about...
The world is not...
They're first to, like, talk to Bale. She's not your sister. Bale, the girl that's, like, in your party. Like,
yeah, she's your like, stepsister.
She's nowhere near the
guardian. She's on the dock, yes.
Yes, you have this whole festival of people, and you have to, like, walk down this dock to the side, like, this long pier, and she's down there, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so what you have to do at this festival is you have to find 3 specific people, do specific things with them, earn a coin from those interactions. Then you have to use those coins at 3 different vendors in the festival, and it tells you none of this.
Oh,
it
fucking
sucks.
Like, I had the 3 coins, and I just did those things. So like I wasn't like, what am I not doing? Like, I just kind of system. It's just because I think it's maybe because I played lots of like Final Fantasy games and like those types of things where it's like you talk to everybody in the town. They'll give you little pieces of information, or they'll give you equipment, and you're like, I just want to do the thing, and it's not telling you what the thing is, because it's just like, no, talk to everybody. That's what you do in these games. Like,
and at this point, I'm an hour in. Like, I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, I just want to go back and play Oblivion. I'm like, this sucks, dude. Like, it's so funny. Me and Sean were trying to stay up for the game last night, which it came out super late last night. I had made it to its release. I played for 3 minutes of it, and I was like, I need to go to bed. But then today, I start the game up. I slept in like till like super late today, like at least 10 o'clock. Start the game up. I'm starting to play, and then Sean texts me. He's like, I didn't make it, man. I'm starting right now. I'm like, me too. And like me and him at the same point, we're both like, this fucking sucks. Like this game sucks. And that all started to wash away once you get past the prologue. And to the point now,
once you're on the continent, I think is what they call it. Like when the game turns into, it never becomes like an action, but you're like kind of walking through environments, fighting enemies, getting little bits of story here and there, but it's more like exploratory at that point.
Before we kissed, I had already I was fully into this. Like I was loving the game. At this point I've been playing it for like I don't know how many hours, 9, 10. I don't know. Sean texts me. He's like, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of digging this now. I'm like, dude, I was there hours ago. I don't know what you're talking about. I fucking love this game. Like we went from this game sucks, I want to go play Oblivion, to like I don't know if I'm gonna touch Oblivion now again until I'm done with this. It's really great, dude. Like, again, not a huge fan of the prologue, but other than that, like, I don't know. What do you think of the I don't think you've gotten to the really good music yet, but the graphics are great.
I mean, visually, what I've seen so far is really nice. As I said, it's very static, though. Like the only thing that moves is like, well, I mean, in the prologue area, like all the people are kind of just milling around. They're not moving. They're just all just kind of standing there, walling you off, and you can only interact with certain people. I think that's a problem too, is that the stuff you can interact with is you have to get pretty close to them to kind of realize that that's what you can interact with. So yeah, like I could see if you're not walking right up on people and you're like, who am I supposed to talk to? Like you wouldn't know because there's nothing going, hey, over here is, a point of interest or anything. So like I'm just like systematically like walking up and down the whole like area to see who I can talk with, and but eventually you leave, right? You get to the continent, shit goes down, your entire expedition basically gets wiped out, and then the game kind of kicks in. And yeah, I mean the combat seems pretty cool. It's a little bit it's turn based, but there is kind of like an action element to it where you can dodge or parry.
Yeah, we haven't even got to that yet. That's a big part of the combat.
That's the part I was interested in. Is a lot of people who say it's turn-based, but it's a bit more engaging or player-oriented.
Yeah. Well, like how in Mario, like in the Mario RPGs, like you could do.
That's kind of what I was expecting, but I want to hear more.
Yeah, but like
you have to engage with it. Yes. If you don't, you will die. Like you have to learn to dodge. You have to learn to parry.
Yeah, for the big bosses especially, which is tough. I think parrying is very hard, and it's not usually my type of thing. I usually hate parrying. That will usually turn me off on a game.
The window seems very tight for it.
It is,
and it's hard to like. There's no real flash, right? Like it's just like each enemy kind of has an attack, and it's like I don't know which one it is.
I figured out what it is, dude. Audio cues.
Okay.
You're listening for them to make a certain sound, and that's the cue to fucking hit the parry or the dodge. And just keep that in mind when you're playing it. I bet you'll notice it now that I say that. And
it's dodge I've been able to hit, but like
dodge is easier.
For some reason, parry just doesn't seem like it. Definitely need to be more on the ball with that.
There's also. So it's more so like the opposite of Mario, Earl, and that like you're using these as defensive things, but you really got to do them. But there is QTEs when you're on offense
with your attacks, yeah.
Also with a very small window of landing a perfect attack. I I was having a lot of trouble with the second big boss, and I lowered the difficulty, and I found the game still actually challenging quite a bit, but like all of those windows feel much looser.
Okay.
Yeah, so your attacks build action points. So like you can attack straight up, like with a regular attack, you swing your sword, or what's
that builds an action
the
point
girl's
for you.
name? Yeah, like so it's Gustav. He has a sword. Loon is like your elemental spellcaster. She can her main attack is just like a fireball. And then once you build an action point, then you can use I don't know. Do you know what they're called, Jeff? They're like skills. I think they're called skills, right? So you can use a skill, and certain skills will build an extra action point. And if you have more of them, then you can use a bigger skill, or you can use a gun, and your gun uses an action point as well. And early on, they'll kind of be like, "Hey, flying enemies, if you try to attack them, they're going to dodge most basic attacks. So you're going to want to use your gun for them. But otherwise, you're going to want to like use a mix of like attacks and then building your skills and then building up to a stronger attack. Like what is Luna's like immolation, Gustav has is it overcharge?
Overcharge.
Yeah.
Crucial in the boss fights. Like
and then when you
to build that overcharge all the way up and then use it, and you're gonna take a good chunk of that boss's health off.
Yeah. Oh, so is that what that like? So it's like, oh, you're at 9 of 10 or whatever.
You want it to
get that to 10 of 10, and like it does.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it does like higher damage the higher it was. I just didn't really. I thought it was just kind of like a tutorial thing. It was like, hey, if you do this X, Y, and Z, you have to do it 10 of 10 times or whatever. But then Earl, when you use those attacks, especially the skills, you'll get a kind of like, let's call it like a golf meter or a football kick meter, like where from one side there'll be like a little target that moves, and you have to hit it inside like the zone. So if you hit it, then you'll get a second shot at it, and that'll double or triple your amount of attacks that you do for that. And so yeah, the combat's very. It's still turn based, but you have to be engaged with it at all times.
And I'll say this, like everything that Chris just described, I think there's a learning curve to the combat, but I've learned it all just by paying attention after a while to like what's going on in the bottom corner of the screen with the action points and shit. I was like, oh, I see. I don't want to, like, sometimes I want to save these for this and that. Like, there is a huge learning curve to the combat, but I did I don't like watch any tutorials or anything. I just learned it by playing it. And once you get in, like once you get down, like, and you understand what's going on, the combat is very, very cool, man. Like, and just looks cool. Like, I'd say that's where the game looks best, is in the combat. It's like insane. Like, I can only imagine some of the skills you'll get later on, like the crazy spells and stuff that you'll pull off, and how cool it'll look.
Oh yeah, and each of your characters has like a giant skill tree that, like, as you level up, you'll get attribute points. I think 3 per level, and you can throw them into like standard stuff like health, strength, agility, which will impact like how healthy, how much hit points you have, how hard your attacks hit, how quick you are to I don't know. I don't quite know what agility does. It says defense and something else.
I kind of wonder if it helps with how fast you dodge, but that can't be right, because as you go on and you have a party, like you all dodge together some attacks. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's the boss I fought right before I stopped for the night. Like they'll attack. They'll do like one attack and then a second attack and then a third attack that attacks the entire party.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes they'll attack Gustav, sometimes they'll attack Loon, sometimes they'll attack Loon twice, but then the last attack of that is they're attacking both, and you both have to dodge. Like it'll hit everybody at the same time, so you're just pressing the button. But
yeah, there's a boss, the big second boss that I was stuck at for a minute. I went, leveled up, and came back to him, and then finally, like, it is what I think is cool about it is like once you learn the boss's patterns, you start to get very good at dodging and shit. And so like I'll post a video of it, like I'm just like dodging, perfect dodge, perfect dodge, perfect dodge. As a whole party, like we're perfectly dodging him, like jumping on us and shit. And I'm like, this thing is going down, man. I'm gonna fucking kill this boss, like no problem, like without getting touched. And then when he had like 5% health left, he started doing crazy shit, like. He like jumped in the air and crushed and one-shot killed 2 of my party members who had full health. And then he started coming after Gustav. Like, hey, Gustav, I have him ready to go with the overcharge. And I'm like, so as soon as it's my turn again, I'm going to kill him. The overcharge will definitely take out the rest of his health bar. But he runs into me and he starts doing this melee attack that I'm used to dodging. He goes, swing, swing, swing. And you just got to go dodge, dodge, dodge. But then he decided, with 5% health left, that no, it's 5 swings, and I did not, because I know the rhythm of the boss. I'm like, I was not expecting a 4th or 5th swing, and he just fucking wrecked me and killed me. I was so mad, and that's why I lowered the difficulty and got past him. And I have to say, like, if you are struggling with it, like lowering the difficulty, I think like mostly just kind of makes those windows better, like a little better, and it still feels very challenging and fun, like. I might bump it back up again. I haven't decided yet, but I still have it on story difficulty.
And one of the other things I think we missed. So there's these like we didn't miss it. We didn't talk about it. There's these flags that are kind of like old school save points. That at least from what I've seen, there's no way to just kind of pause and save.
No.
So it's very like PlayStation 1 coded, where you have to find yourself a save point to get to kind of make a save. But once you get to that save point, and I didn't notice this at first, it was like maybe the second or third one that I had hit. They act as bonfires in Dark Souls. So if you go to a flag, it will respawn all the enemies in the area.
Yeah. Which could be useful. That's how I went back and leveled up for that second big boss.
Yeah, so like you can then like repopulate an area and, for lack of a better word, grind for levels, but it can also like screw you over. Maybe not screw you over, but it's like, all right, I'm low health, so I'm gonna rush back to this flag to rest, and then it's like, oh god, now I have to go through this gauntlet again.
Yeah, that's what happened to me the first against it. But once after the second big boss, and I could just turn around, go back and fight like 3 or 4 big enemies and grind off of them. I was cool with it. It's fine.
There's like these like the way the map is all kind of designed is like there's like twists and turns, and like you can't really platform, but you can jump. So you can kind of get yourself up to some levels, and there's like, I guess there's some simple platforming. You have like a grappling hook, but it's not like you grapple and it takes you right to the spot. You're not going to miss anything when you climb up a ladder, or like the handholds, like you're not missing anything. But you do want to explore the area because there are like upgrade materials and I think they're called lumens or something. I'm not really sure what they're used for, but they seem to be like a currency of some sort. What was that, Jeff?
I'm a little confused by some of that still, but I will say this. You will get to like an old school like RPG like overworld map. So like like the old Final Fantasies or that where you're like walking around and there's like enemies moving around, right?
Yeah.
Once you get there, you could set up a camp whenever you want, and eventually you'll get this guy at your camp called the Curator, who I just finally like because I was stuck in a level. You can't go to a camp when you're in a level. It has to be when you're in the overworld.
Okay.
So when I got back to the overworld, I went back to the camp, and the Curator was there, and then I was able to like upgrade my weapons and the other thing you could upgrade. God damn it. It's like some resources. I forgot what. You could upgrade something else, but like, yeah, you could like massively upgrade your weapons. So that's cool.
You also get these. There's like something you can equip. I think you can equip up to 4 of them on each character.
Cactuses or
yeah, they're basically just like it's just like extra equipment. But yeah, they have like special skills, and if you use them in 4 battles, you basically master it and unlock like a higher version of that can be used on any of the characters as well. So,
and then you don't have to wear that Pictus on you any longer, I believe.
Oh, is that so? Like, I have like the dodge one for Loon. Okay, that's neat. Like,
yeah, I think it's a little confusing. Again, there's so much of a learning curve to all of this, but like the further and further in you get, like I think this game is just like, I don't know, man. I know a little bit further than you, but even where you were, I was like, man, this game is pretty good. I think this game is incredible, man. Like, this is such a must play. Like Earl and Tony should definitely give this game a shot. Like, again, the first hour might be a little bit. It'd be frustrating early on, but it's fucking awesome once you're in it.
It's slow and it's not a cheery game to start with, but
just do what I do.
Not cheery, but just don't pay
zone out. Look at Twitter.
I mean, I am enjoying the world that they've created here, so it takes a little while to get into it. But yeah, that's Clair Obscur. Jeff and I will be playing a bunch more of that, I assume, over the next week or so.
I was curious, so I looked it up because my big concern with any of these things, it's not. I would try most things. It's the commitment, but according to Kotaku, it's about 30 hours, and I could do that.
Yeah. Yes. It doesn't seem like it's like a huge RPG. It's more straightforward. I don't know.
Yeah. Kind of in here.
Yeah, and like,
go ahead, Jeff.
And like, you don't really like. I've only had to grind once so far, and I only had to grind 1 level. You know what I mean? And it was not like you don't have to do a million random encounters to stay up to speed with the difficulty of the bosses. You have to learn how to fight the boss. Unfortunately, that's the thing.
Yeah, the RPG guy that Jeff and I we kind of like watch on YouTube.
Oh, you watched Mortismal or whatever? I didn't watch him.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch his thing, but Walt posted his full 100% completion because Mortismal keeps his Steam profile public.
Yeah.
So he did the entire game, like completed everything in it. And I think that also includes like maybe some, but like lots of like side quests and stuff that you don't have to engage with. He did everything in the game in like roughly 60 hours. So
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. So it's like if you want to do everything, 60 hours, but if you want to like just play the game, probably 30. So that's a nice number.
Yeah, that's a good bridge to hold out, better than trying Oblivion or Avowed or something. There's so many games I need to play.
Well, like I can tell you right now, I will easily sink like 100+ hours into Oblivion. But that's just one of those games you just kind of dick around in. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is not that type of RPG. This is like you're kind of going down a path and fighting shit, and maybe grinding it out a little bit.
South of Midnight's about 10 hours. I could do that too.
South of Midnight is absolutely.
South of Midnight is not a huge commitment yet.
Yeah,
and it's
the weekend.
It's basically it's mostly an action platformer. So like that's a quick one. You should do that one first.
It was also neat. It was neat playing South of Midnight, and then like one day later going to see Sinners. Like they both kind of have a similar flavor.
So they work so well together.
You saw Sinners?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
When she I can't remember her name, but she's talking about Haints.
Yeah, the lady who I fought with his mom. Yeah.
It's his
not his mom.
His ex-wife or ex-lover.
Yeah, I was like, I would never have heard of what hate
things. Don't mix those up.
I did. I think I wasn't the only one. I definitely did though.
She looks older the first time you see her in the movie, to be fair.
Not only that, he goes and it's like, I think it's like dad's grave is outside. So you're like, oh, he's visiting his mom.
It's his daughter's grave.
It's his daughter's grave? I don't know.
Yeah, it's his daughter. Yeah, at the end of the movie, you see, sorry, spoilers, he sees a vision of his ex-wife, because she has died during the movie, and the baby. And they do a flashback to that grave. I thought it was his dad's grave as well at first.
Because they talked about how they killed his dad, like, right before that scene. Then you see him go under this tree, and there's a grave there. And I'm like, okay, that's his dad. This is his mom and dad's house. He's going and talking to this lady that looks like twice his age, and she's talking to him like she's his mom. And then she grabs his dick, and then she bends over for him, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was so thrown off by it. Anyways, but she mentions, like, in the movie Hates. I had never heard of Hates until
South of Midnight.
I played literally like the day before that. I was like, damn, this is so cool. Like, they both have that same Southern flavor. I know this is like the movie's in like Mississippi, so not little. There's a little it just felt thematically so similar. Like, good movie too, fun movie.
Yes, go see Sinners, play South of Midnight. Good pairing.
Absolutely.
So that's Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Tony, what have you been playing?
So I've been mopping and scrubbing and using soap and generally cleaning. Been playing Crime Scene Cleaner, the most positive game of 2025.
Yes, please tell us about that.
So you play as a guy who's actually a high school janitor. Your wife is dead. Your daughter has some terrible disease that your job does not pay for. But the mob has found you. And the mob needs somebody to clean up after their activities. Dispose of the bodies, collect the evidence, mop up all the blood, and make things look good so they don't get charged with crimes. So that's what you do in the game. You move from crime scene to crime scene, and you clean everything up. It's sort of like a wash simulator. So you're literally pulling out scrubbing brushes and scrubbing. You're picking up trash, you're picking up bullet casings and sticking them in a trash bag. You had to pick up the bodies and carry them back to your truck and stick them in there so you can take them away. It's one of those very it's very chill, a very chill experience. There's no other characters. It's just you walking around this empty crime scene with a bunch of dead bodies and blood everywhere. There's so much blood in this game. I don't know how there's so much blood related to the number of people who are dead, but there's blood everywhere. So much blood. And that's the main thing you end up scrubbing up blood. And of course your goal is to take away all the bodies and clean up all the trash and find all the evidence and scrub out all the blood in each level to make money. There is also some mild puzzle solving elements. There are secret areas in each level, because again, you're not doing this for the good of the mob. You're trying to make as much money as possible. So you can steal things from the crime scene. If there's money laying around or a necklace or a wristwatch or whatever, you can pick them up off the ground and take them away. There are things that you can break into that secret areas you can find that are full of money. There's some cooler ones at the end which will give you some fun items to use. I don't really want to spoil them because I'm assuming some of you will play this game. There's some really cool moments with that exploration. Part of it is there are areas that you need to clean up that you can't get to initially, and so you have to figure out how to get into those areas. Do I need to sneak up here? Where's the key to this door? How do I find it? Is it under a body? Do I need to clean up all this stuff to find it? The puzzles get generally harder as the game goes along, but none of them are particularly hard. So I didn't really have any trouble getting through any of the levels. The game itself is only like 11 hours long, so you should be able to get through all of it pretty quickly. In terms of the actual cleaning, it's a lot more forgiving than Crime Scene, than Power Wash Simulator. Like it the blood cleans up faster. If you get to a certain point, a lot of it'll just disappear. So it doesn't want you to spend all of your time scrubbing, but you do have to do a lot of that. As you finish each level, based on the amount of money you've collected, you'll get upgrade points to upgrade your scrubbing with the mop or with like the hand scrubber. If you have this like hand scrubber that you use a lot, upgraded enough, you'll get double, so you'll be able to hold a scrubber in each hand, scrub the blood extra fast. Some of the cool things, each level has like a story behind it, like a rave gone wrong. There's a museum you have to clean up where a bunch of rich people have staged this last man standing alive game, and they've been betting on the participants, and so there's bodies.
Jesus.
Like you'll find somebody who's been impaled by like a T-Rex talon that they've taken off a statue, or a skeleton in the thing. It's and you'll walk into a room and you'll be like, okay, the game will tell you how many bodies are in the level. Like it'll be like, okay, there's 5 bodies in this level, and you'll walk into the room, and you'll see one lying on the floor. And you're like, okay, I clean up the whole room. Take this one body away. Okay, but there's 4 more. Where are they? And then you'll open a door and you'll be like, oh Jesus, what has happened in here? and your character is so like cynical and sarcastic. He's making comments about everything the whole time. It's so funny to listen to him, because he makes jokes as he's picking up the bodies. It's a lot of dark humor. So if you really appreciate the dark humor, this is an excellent game for you. And like some of the levels have very, very sad stories behind. One of the initial ones is a woman who's found herself stuck in a life of like prostitution, and like she's stuck with the wrong man who's been using her, and ends up killing herself in a bathtub, and you end up having to clean up the aftermath of all this, and it's super sad. Ooh. And while you're doing it, she has a CD or a cassette playing in the in her like cassette player, playing this really super sad music. It's like the most depressing thing ever. But some of the other levels are funny. Like it's just funny how people have died or why they've died. It's quite amusing.
So
go ahead.
I'm looking at your achievements here, Tony, and like it says like complete mission with a perfect score. Like, does it tell you? Do you have like a checklist of?
Yeah. So as you're going along, it'll tell you like how much trash, and it does it area by area, so you don't have to like to guess. It's not the whole level. Like if you're standing in like this room, it'll tell you like, okay, you've collected this percentage of trash in this room. And to make a level perfect, you have to collect all of the trash and clean up all of the blood. And the other thing you do is move furniture back to where it was initially. You're basically trying to make all these rooms look like they looked like before whatever happened.
Got it. Okay. And then like, but you can pass a level without having a perfect score.
Yeah. The only real things you need to do are take all of get all of the bodies. You don't necessarily have to collect everything. I was actually super upset because I missed one box in the final level. I forgot about it. I was like, I don't know where this box is. I can't find it. I'm going to come back later and do it. And when I walked out the end of the level, I'm like, shit, I forgot about that stupid box. And that was the only reason I didn't get perfect on every level. And of course, the final level is the hardest one. Like it took forever, and there's a whole bunch of stuff you need to do to figure it out. And there's like a bunch of puzzles to solve to like move things around so that you can get to certain places. I'm like, I'm not doing that again. It's 20 achievement points I'm going to live without.
I like the idea of there being like puzzles on how to, because like Power Wash was really just like, all right,
it was very
here's
simple.
This
just
dirty
clean
thing, clean it
up. Yeah. But you'll be like, you'll see like you'll get to like a room that's like the door is clear, so you can see inside of it. but something will be blocking the door, and you're like, how do I get in there? And you have to figure it out. So,
all right. And how's it look? Like, does it kind of like have that same power wash look, or?
Yeah, no, it's not the most beautiful thing graphically, but it doesn't look bad.
Okay.
I played on PC. It looked fine. Really no issues with it. So played fine, played great. I don't think there's multiplayer. Unlike Power Wash Simulator. It doesn't fit the story to have multiplayer, but
I might give it a try. Like
you should. It's very soothing and very funny, and I don't know. I found it
about you.
What Earl?
I said I don't know what that says about him. That it's very soothing to clean up crime scenes.
You just sit there and wipe up the blood, and it disappears. It's great.
There's also a TV show
you pull out like the power washer and start like. The other thing is you could break things with the power washer, which is why I didn't use it a whole lot. Which creates more trash for you to have to clean up. Like you get to like the rave one is the worst because there's like bottles and glasses laying everywhere, and you're like, I can't use the power washer because it's gonna shatter those things, and then I'm gonna have to like go clean up all the trash that I'm creating. I spent a lot of time scrubbing.
You should have destroyed them all because you would have popped another achievement.
Yeah, I know. I didn't destroy enough. There's an achievement for petting your dog.
Oh.
15 times, so make sure to pet the dog if you play.
All right, I might give that a go. That's on Game Pass as well. So
yes.
You play anything else, Tony? What was that, Earl?
Just the best value in gaming, but go on.
Yeah.
Just more Assassin's Creed. So
it's been a very good year for Game Pass so far.
Absolutely, so. Game Pass is having just declare Game Pass the game of the year. I mean, really.
Have we? Really? We've not kept up with the Game Pass game of the month, have we?
No, we probably should circle back on that, but
it's become essential this year. It really has.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't have to think about buying Oblivion for $50. I just downloaded it. I didn't think about the file size. That's it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have played South at Midnight if it hadn't been on Game Pass, and that game was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Avowed, I think, was on Game Pass.
Avowed was on Game Pass too. Yeah. And Clair Obscur on Game Pass.
Game of the year contender, in my opinion.
Doom's out in 3 weeks or so.
Yep, Doom in 3 weeks. From there, Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
Is that on Game Pass?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's so funny.
It's been a very good year.
Most people I talk to, at work or whatever, they have PlayStation. It's like, oh, you know, I almost sound like probably like an asshole at this point. Oh, you don't have Game Pass or you don't have Xbox, but it's just like it's true, dude. Like if you have this system, you need that, or you should get it, and it's totally pays for itself.
Yeah, and I mean, well, Earl hasn't tried out South of Midnight yet, but the rest of us have, and I'm not sure that I don't think Tony would have probably bought it if it hadn't been on Game Pass. And Jeff, you weren't real; you were just kind of waiting for Clair Obscur, so you're like, I guess I'll play South of Midnight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if it wasn't on Game Pass, you guys probably wouldn't have played it, and yeah. It's something like Crime Scene Cleaner. I'm not going out of my way to spend $25 on Steam or something for that, but for I can download that to my Xbox and give it a go, or to my PC.
I mean, even in the same regard, I think that's how we ended up playing Power Wash.
Yeah.
It was on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was oh, well, I guess we'll give this goofy game a try that everybody's talking about, and it's oh wow, this is. Jeff did not like it, but
I didn't play a ton of it. I only played a little bit, and I was just like,
that and what was that? And what Turd was it we tried? And I think Jeff wasn't a fan of when we were doing the game nights.
Yeah, did you like Did you not like Turtles, Jeff?
Nah, it's fine. It's like I just don't like that genre. It's nothing about the game.
Okay. So you're not going to play the Marvel beat 'em up when it,
if it's on Game Pass, maybe.
What one's that called, Earl?
Is it Cosmic Unleashed or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that one looks fun. Tony, you play anything else besides a crime scene cleaner?
Just more Assassin's Creed. I don't have anything extra to say there.
We'll circle back on that when you get closer to the end, or when one of us finishes it.
One day,
take forever. It'll be October.
Yeah.
Is it long?
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
I thought the idea was it's shorter than like the newer ones.
No, the last one was short. This one is not short.
Yeah, this is
similar to like.
I don't think it's Valhalla-ish, but like maybe Odyssey. I think it's probably on par with Odyssey.
Yeah. So pretty meaty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meaty game. Yes, there's a lot going on in that game.
Yeah, I have 34 hours into it, and I am not close to the end.
Earl, you play anything over the last couple weeks that you've been away?
Oh, I haven't. I think I started talking about it when I was on Nast. I started off playing Blueprints.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it, except us.
Except us, and I don't. It's an interesting game. I think it's an interesting game. It's an interesting setup. I think there is a novelty to it. I think, and maybe my brain is wired differently than a lot of the reviewers. I think it's a game people should experience and check out for themselves. But the way people were singing this praise, I was just kind of expecting this tour de force of an experience. And it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's enjoyable. I think it's a very fun game. I think, oddly enough, it wasn't even the reviews that got into for me. A couple of friends had mentioned it's very similar to a board game that I enjoy. I forget the actual name of it, which does not help at the moment. But like the fact that you go in and you start off in like just the main room of a house, and you pick and you kind of build out the layout of the house every day to unlock new rooms, unlock new mysteries, figure out puzzles and stuff like that. I think all of that is intriguing. I think a lot of the environmental storytelling is really good. I just think it's one of those roguelites where so much of it is not necessarily random, but I don't necessarily think it's super fun to keep on building out rooms and discovering more of the house every day. I guess in my head, it's not as puzzle driven in that sense. There are puzzles, there's big puzzles and all this other stuff, but if you're not action driven, I think everything needs to be puzzle driven, and that's not necessarily the case. So yeah, I do need to put more time into it. I need to go back. I've already played a couple of days in the game. So if for you folks who don't know the setup is really cute and stupid. Like your player character is like somebody's nephew or grandnephew, and your eccentric uncle left you this house, but the only way for you to inherit it is if you find out the secret of the 46th room or something like that. And how you do that is it's a not randomly generated. Again, you create the layout, but you go into the mansion every day. It resets every day, and you get tiles and rooms, and you unlock equipment and gear, and you use that to you get a shovel. You can find places that you can use the shovel to dig up stuff. You can get a sledgehammer. You can break certain walls. There's certain rooms that are dead ends, essentially, like bathrooms. I mean, most people bathrooms have one entrance, so if you put a bathroom, you can't have a second entrance next to it. You can put rooms around it, but you'd have to kind of go up and around it. Um, so like the first few days, at least for me, was figuring out like, oh, that's a thing. I can't like this is probably not a good room to put as my second room because that pretty much cuts off like the west wing of the building for now. Figuring that stuff out. You as you go up, um, 'cause it's a 5-5-5 grid, I think 5-5. As you go up, the rooms might cost more. There's more. Like you have to collect gems and coins and stuff like that to build out certain rooms. So like if you go across this east, and then there's certain rooms with each room had this. Not each room. Things have a perk or no perk. So like the gym, which I blind built one time. The first time you enter the gym, you automatically use 15 steps. The chapel, every time you go to the chapel, you have to pay a coin. Like if you keep it has four entrances. Usually the first one doesn't count because you built it off of something. But it has four entrances, so every time you go, if you use all three entrances, that would be 3 coins right off the bat. So it's more resources you would give up. So maybe that's something you want to build later in your run, or something you want to build early in your run when you have no coins to use, so you can just kind of use the room constantly. Some rooms offer puzzles, some offer hints as to what other rooms are. You can get security keys on that certain doors. You can go and turn off the security system if you can find that room and generate it. There's like a code check where again it's a roguelike, so at the end of every day, everything resets. But the code check allows you to like store an item for until you retrieve it. But again, you have to get the code check the next day or whenever the day you want to use it and stuff like that. It's probably explaining it really poor. Not explaining it poorly. It sounds like a very is that all? But like when you play it, you kind of understand the even feel, and it can be very engaging in that sense. And again, like I said, I do think it's something everybody should check out at least once to see how they feel about it.
And you said it's a roguelike. You have a certain amount of steps you can take every day, right?
You start off with 50, and it's not steps exactly. I mean, that's how they count it, but just for clarity's sake, it's how they count it anytime you enter a room. So, or enter an area, because if you go outside, it also counts. And it's the air outside is also broken up into different areas. So, like you start off in the parlor, which is like the main area. So, like if you build a room to the west and you go in that room, that's one step. If you come back in the parlor, that's another step. So, like you built a bunch of rooms to the west. Oh, I reached the end of that wall. I'm gonna go back to the 2 or 3 rooms I built. That's 2 or 3 steps back to the parlor. I'm gonna build out east. Those are additional steps. There are rooms that you can build that give you additional steps. You can eat certain fruits and vegetables. They give you additional steps. Um, like I said, there are things that will take away steps as well. So that is kind of the management of this is your steps, how you're using them, how you're building it out. Um, and again, you can also because it's user generated, you can also knock yourself out. The first time I played, not knock yourself out, knock yourself from any progress because again, if you create a bunch of dead ends, you can't build anything, you can't go any further. So you can just kind of go to camp and end the day prematurely. Because I think the first day I ended with like 35 steps, but I had built everything to a point where like there was nowhere to go because all of the areas that were open were without additional entrances or exits.
Got it. I will be giving it a try. It was chosen as the next VG Club game, so I'll be giving it a go. I don't know. Some of the stuff that you said, some stuff other people said. I do like a puzzle game, but I don't know if this one's going to be for me. But I am going to give it a go. So
that is all you can ask for.
You play anything else, Earl?
Just the usual. My Fortnite, I killed the Justice League. I think I killed all of them now.
Good. They're all dead.
They're all dead. So
Deserved it.
they kind of did. I still kind of stand by. I think the game is extremely. I think the game is very fun. I think the game suffers from a not that lack of enemy variety. Like you pretty much fight the same things, the same 4 or 5 things the entire game. And the boss battles are interesting enough, but they're kind of short in multiplayer. Um, I think again the stories. I think the characters more so. I think this is true across the board for a lot of the Suicide Squad media. The characters are what drive it. They're really fun. They have a great chemistry with themselves. Um, yeah, I think if it was not a straight up like games as service type deal they were trying to sell, I think they could have been a really fun co-op experience if they made this a bit tighter and actually kind of honestly, I guess in hindsight, if they had found a way to make each because it's an open world game, but you kind of have okay, this is the Green Lantern section, this is the Flash section, this is the Batman section. Like have ways to tie more of that world and characters into what you're doing instead of showing these blobby creatures.
All right. One piece of news here that I wrote down, and it kind of ties into what we're going to talk about next. But there's an Outrun film in development, guys. Michael Bay directing it.
Ooh, Michael Bay.
He's going to blow up some cars.
That's right. Absolutely, he will.
Can I add to that news?
Yeah.
Because as I was coming home today, it looks like Sydney Sweeney is also in. She was in talks. I think she's attached to the Outrun movie, but apparently she's also in talks to be in the Split Fiction movie.
Oh, she's producing the Outrun movie. I don't know if she's going to star, but she is signed on as a producer for it.
Okay, but it's like she's in. She's looking to star in Split Fiction from John M. Chu, who is the director of. He's Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think he did the first 2 Deadpool movies.
No, I don't think he did either. All right. I mean, look, I'll watch Sydney Sweeney and some shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I think everybody kind of anticipated after Mario that you see a bunch of video game movies get announced, and we did get a bunch of them announced. Very little has come of it so far in the 2 years since then, but we've had announcements. And I think this is the same thing with Minecraft, where people are just trying to hurry up and announce stuff. Outrun, calling a spade, I don't get.
No.
And that it's not necessarily. I'm not even going to check here. It's not a brand. Like one was the Outrun game.
It's been a while, but also like, what is the story of Outrun, right?
And again, you don't even need a story if you can but that's what I'm saying. It's not a brand, and it's a car game. You don't. The Fast and the Furious exist. Copy that.
Maybe when maybe Michael Bay wanted to do a car movie, and when he pitched it to the studio, he's like, "What's a car game that they might have heard of?" You know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be an IP. It's gotta be some sort of Outrun. Outrun's huge. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
The last game, according to Wikipedia, was Outrun Online Arcade that came out on Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation 3 in April of 2009, which would have been 16 years ago.
What was the one before that? Was it 2006? For some reason, Outrun 2006 is in my head.
I think that's like the last actual new one. Yeah.
Yes, Coast to Coast, and this was PlayStation 2 and Xbox and PSP. So
they did in the announcement. They did say that, which I did not know, that Outrun inspired a genre of music, which just kind of sounds like synthwave to me. But if that's the kind of music they're going to go for with this, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Yeah, again, I think what Mario and Minecraft has shown, and I think this will, irritate Jeffrey to a point, is the games that not even the games that are going to do well in movies are the ones where there's a bit more of a blank canvas with a brand. Um, where you can kind of like, hey, you know this from the game. This is kind of cool, right? But also we can do whatever because you take Mario has a story, but yeah, we can make up something. It works. The princess was kidnapped. We rescued her. We'll make up the rest as we go along.
Right, in between, just throwing a bunch of member berries at everybody to be like, "Yay, that's cool."
Yeah, great.
Because again, I mean, Mario did well. Minecraft is doing well. In between that was Borderlands. Most people kind of forgot that it's a movie. Um, and I kind of feel the same way about Until Dawn, which is out tonight.
Yeah,
zero buzz. Nobody cares.
Which is
At least it doesn't seem like anybody cares. I don't know. Are you guys going to see it?
Again, based on I will see it eventually. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters.
If I'm going to see anything in the next week, Jeff, it'll be The Accountant too. So
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Give me some Ben Affleck.
I need to rewatch the first one. I don't remember the first one. I know that it wasn't great, but it was it's
fun enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm sure over the next few weeks and months we'll hear a bunch of video game movies announced, and it's gonna be
3/4 of them won't get made.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went through this maybe when Mario came out, and I'm sure that this is very similar to being like, yeah, they announced this. Sure, it does not mean anything. The God of War TV show, the Tomb Raider TV show.
Wasn't there a Tomb Raider TV show?
There was a live action one as well. There was the Netflix anime, I think, but there was supposed to be a live action one.
Oh, okay.
There was supposed to be a Horizon TV show that got canceled.
The Sony game?
Yeah, Zero Dawn.
Okay, not Forza.
No. I would watch that.
I would rather watch that.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Wikipedia has this stuff like things in production.
Remember they made a Gran Turismo movie?
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you watch it? I thought you watched it.
I did. It was.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Not good in my opinion. I don't know.
It's interesting in that
they tried something different.
Because it's based off of a true story.
Yeah, so it's you could almost say it's not a Gran Turismo. You know what I mean? It's just about.
It's not a Gran Turismo movie. It's like the Tetris movie, and that it's about Tetris, but it's not a Tetris.
It's just movie. It was very formulaic, and I honestly would have gave it a pass if I thought the racing was just poorly done.
Until Dawn, flirting with a fresh rating. Actually, it's at 59% right now. So
yeah, there's a
not bad, not bad.
And that's the thing. I think, especially for a horror movie, the type of horror movies I enjoy don't tend to review well, like the slashers and the. So again, that's why I think it could do well, but I don't necessarily know if it's something I need to rush into the theaters to see. But to the overall point, whether it reviews well or not, there's really no buzz in any circle about it.
No. Did you get that list, Earl?
I'm trying to find some because the Zelda movie, but okay, IGN has this. Let's see what they have. Until Dawn, Mortal Kombat, Five Nights at Freddy's are the three that's for this year. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 is in October. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, December.
I'll probably watch Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter I think Street Fighter's date has been changed, but that's supposed to be next year. Mario's next year. Angry Birds movie 3 is in 2027. Sonic's in 2027. Zelda's in 2027. Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn. I forgot Helldivers 2 had a movie announced. The Sims, Gears of War, Return to Silent Hill, Death Stranding, Days Gone. I don't even know what Dredge is.
It's the boat game. It's the kind of Lovecraftian, like you dredge the ocean and nightmarish horrors come out of it. It's weird. It's an indie game.
Here's a list of, and there's still a few more. Gears of War, God of War, I think was a TV show.
Yep.
The Uncharted sequel, I think they've always kind of said is existing. And then these are the ones that were announced and no update on: Mega Man, Just Cause, Duke Nukem, Gravity Rush, Dead by Daylight, It Takes Two, Sifu, Ark, Survival Evolved,
Oh God,
Rage,
why?
Sniper Elite.
That one has Vin Diesel attached to it. Tony.
Which one? Sniper Elite?
Ark.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Streets of Rage.
No. Ark.
And that
Ark
would make
Survival
sense.
Evolved. That's
that'd be
Vin
great.
Diesel attached. Yeah.
Call of Duty, Half-Life, Saints Row, Portal, Yakuza, Beyond Good and Evil, Firewatch, Metal Gear Solid, The Division, Just Dance, Dragoneer.
What?
Again, I think a lot of these are stuff like Ubisoft and Sony have very much been like, hey, we're making movies and TV shows off of all these great properties, and nothing's come of it. Outlast, we have Watch Dogs, Days Gone. Yeah, a lot of these are just stuff people said like, yeah, we're making a video game out of this. I mean, a movie out of this. Like, when was the last Just Cause game?
It's been
a while, yeah, now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't particularly well received, I don't think. Just Cause 4? Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, wait, no, there was a 5.
What?
Oh, no, Just Cause 5 is in development.
Yeah, Just Cause 4, 2018. Oh boy, we're off the rails completely now. We have lost our fearless leader.
Oh no.
Oh no, what happens without Chris? What do we do?
Good night.
I was about to say we can all go.
Do we start talking about Mortal Kombat? The recording will be here.
Mortal Kombat. Don't. Yeah. Well, will it be here? Because
will it?
I guess. I know Craig is here.
I mean, the Mortal Kombat could be us like squaring off to figure out who's the new leader of the podcast. With Chris gone now, I mean, it's up for grabs.
So, but who wants it?
I don't know. I don't think any of us do, though. It's not much a battle for the universe that nobody wants. We're all like, this universe sucks.
Yeah. But yes, has anybody been watching The Last of Us?
Yeah.
I am very curious to see what happens next week. In terms of, I've not seen the season yet, but I know what happens because it's very hard to avoid what happens in the game. So I'm kind of curious because a lot of people seem very, very upset at the events of this week's episode. But I'm thinking, like, even the Red Wedding, people continued watching. If anything, it kind of became more legendary because everybody was like waiting for other people to watch and like get their reactions to that moment. So I'm kind of curious if this is going to be very similar in that regard.
I don't know. I kind of knew what was going to happen, but I did not know 100% what was going to happen because I have not played Last of Us 2.
Oh.
I'll say this: when The Last of Us ended, like the game, I was like, this doesn't need a sequel because that's the perfect ending. And what is it? 2 episodes into this, or 3? I don't even know. I kind of stand by that. I don't really like it as much I don't like this as much as what they did with the first story. And I also just like, it's a bold swing what they did, with the big, death or whatever, but just like, I don't know if I love it. Like, I just like, it feels like something that's like trying to find a reason to exist. But again, I don't know, like, has anyone here played through the second game?
The second game of what?
Last of Us?
Oh yeah, I played it.
So I know you cut out for a second, Chris. We were talking about The Last of Us real quick, the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of stand by what I've always said is like the game should have been one and done, and like it had a perfect ending. And I just don't love what they're doing with this so far. Now, maybe I'll feel differently by the time that they're at the end of the season or at the end of the show. But so far, I'm just like, and honestly, like, again, even though I knew it was kind of coming, it kind of like soured me on the whole thing a little bit. I was just like, okay.
Yeah. The murder of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, I get it. I get the swing you're going for here, which is like, hey man, our protagonist is somebody else's villain. That's a cool idea, right? But it just kind of soured the whole thing for me. Where I'm just like, great, now what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that is because I haven't played. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, I could feel different about it later, but so far I'm just like, okay, great, more misery and bullshit. Like,
yes, and I have not played the game, but again, I've heard reactions to the TV show. I think one of the big complaints people had with this in particular is that it's the same twist in the video game, but I think the video game spends a bit more time setting it up.
again, I can't speak to it, but I do know that in the video game you don't know why she's there or what the deal is. Like you don't know why who's getting killed is getting killed. You're just like, what the fuck? Who's this? Like what? So like, and that's not how it is in the show. But whatever,
Yeah.
big deal. Either way,
Yeah. They don't reveal Abby's who she's linked to, what the intention is,
her motives,
until it's probably halfway through the game when that's actually revealed.
That's interesting because that's not how the show is at all. Like you completely know the stakes, and it's like 2 episodes in the second season. You're like, okay, well now what? Like I guess now it's her versus Ellie. I don't know. Like I don't know what you do interesting with it. Like I just
Ellie in the show, does Ellie know why Abby went after what's his name? Joel?
No, she doesn't. But the season does start with like there's a rift between Ellie and Joel,
and that's how the game starts.
Like, really? Fact, and it's like she senses that he lied to her, but she can't like come out and say it.
Yeah, so that's how the game starts. Is in fact she knows that he's lying about something. So they don't have like this close relationship anymore, but she still does view him as a father figure. She's just angry at him. So when he dies, spoiler for The Last of Us 2, the game, and I guess the show, when he is murdered, she then goes on this quest for vengeance.
Okay, so that's what the second game is. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's because you don't just play as Ellie in the second game, you play as Ellie and Abby.
Yeah.
So you split off time. So the first half is you playing as Ellie, then the game shifts and you play as Abby.
And is Ellie like the big villain then? Like, is that like the idea?
Kind of is like because she's hunting them. like in the game, she is hunting Abby and are they the wolves or something like that? Or
the fireflies.
The fireflies. So she's hunting them in the game because she wants to get revenge for what happened to Joel.
And it's like the second half of the game you're playing as Abby, you're saying.
Yeah, second half of the game you're playing as Abby, and then there's like basically an epilogue where you play as Ellie again. And she meets up with Abby. She's still hunting Abby, but something happens at the end there.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I want to know more because it's about 2 seasons of TV that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the interesting thing because a lot of the reviews were kind of saying that this season kind of feels unfulfilling, and I think it's because they ended up having to split the second. Well, not having, they chose to split the second game, the 2 seasons. So I'm assuming it kind of ends in a point.
It's interesting that they gave away Abby's intentions.
Oh yeah, right at the top.
So early on though.
Like the end of the first episode, it's established in the first episode who she is and what she's trying to do. And at the end of the first episode, they have found Jackson, Wyoming, where the town that they're living in.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I guess again, I'm open to having my mind changed on it, but I'm just so far, I'm this is just not as good as the first. And what more was there to say at the end of the first other than you fucked everything over for someone that you love? I think that's a cool ending. I get again, it's interesting what they're going for in terms of
it's
the protagonist here, I get it, but
right. It'll be interested to see how it plays out for you guys, because Joel's not wrong. What I think what you ultimately find out is that his choice wasn't incorrect.
Oh really? Oh, interesting.
Which makes Abby's hunt of Joel and Ellie a little off as well, but she's doing it because you killed her dad. So
yes, yep, yeah, she definitely makes a point about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. It's another TV show. I'm watching.
Yep. All right. Well, we should do this. Mortal Kombat.
S tier.
Oh,
we can wrap it up now.
Just he's Earl's just going hard.
I mean, I think as opposed to all of the other movies we've done so far, the Mortal Kombat movie encapsulates the actual essence of the game so very perfectly.
It does not. It does not.
It totally does.
The essence of the game is ripping people's.
No,
I mean, no.
I mean, that kind of shit happens in the movie.
I mean,
it captures the essence of the actual plot of the game.
Yes.
Yeah, which is dumb, and who cares?
Yes, and it captures it.
It's like, it's like, what if Bloodsport, for it, but here's a neutered version of it being cool. I don't know. I can't even speak to this because I didn't watch this. I watched it when it came out, but
I mean, you've seen it.
Oh man.
I'd rather watch the new one, which I know a lot of people was lame and shit, but it's it does the thing that you want Mortal Kombat to do, which is violence.
I think
I don't care about plot.
I think you need to rewatch the original then, because it definitely gives you so much violence.
Isn't it PG or some fucking shit?
It's not gritty and gory, but it gives you violence. I mean, half the characters die.
It's PG-13.
Come on.
Yeah, it's not. There's no gore in it like there is in the new one, but
yeah, that's what I want.
Sub-Zero gets impaled. It's not.
You know what's funny when you Google Mortal Kombat movie? what comes up first is 2021.
Yeah, you have to Google Mortal
so
Kombat
funny.
1995.
That's fucked up.
Because they named them both the same. So
yeah, I know. It's
more
just
recent one.
But it was fascinating watching it. One, I think to Tony's point, this is the fourth one we've done.
Yep,
It's the first one that's very curious. This is based off of the video game. This is not whatever Mario was. As much Double Dragon, I don't know what they made up out of that.
Yeah.
Street Fighter was just a bunch of characters in a different setting. This is very much we're taking the plots of 1 and 2. You know, there's a tournament every 10 years or something like that. The Nether Realms, the Outer Worlds have won the last 9. If they win a 10th, they can invade Earthrealm. We need to prevent them. There's a tournament. The rules are very loosey goosey near the end because we need to get to the end. Because I'm not quite sure. Because Johnny Cage beats Goro, and it's like Shang Tsung's like, I'm next. I'm like, okay, I guess the tournament's over. What about the rest of the people? But yeah, I think the strength one is to just point somewhat. It's a very basic movie. It's a tournament movie. It's not something new or exciting, but it works because that's the format of the game. Two, there's unlike Street Fighter, they were smart enough we're just going to focus on 3 characters. We don't want to bring everybody into this movie to have something to do. Like, I know some people dislike, as I got feedback from, what they did with like Scorpion and Sub-Zero in this regard, but this wasn't their movie.
Right.
And yeah, I think it does a really good job in, it doesn't overstay its welcome. There's a fine balance and act between, it's not super well acted, but like nobody's turning in such an over the top and hammy performance that it takes you out of the movie. It takes things earnestly for what it is, but there is still
that's wrong. I mean, the acting is terrible, except for like the couple of people who are in it who are actually actors are all good. But like, I was looking up you look up the people on IMDb, and most of them, this is the only movie they were ever in. That's
I'm
how
looking
bad
at them
were.
right now. Looking at the cast, I'm like, I don't know. I know.
It was like Christopher Lambert and Carrie.
Who's also not a good actor.
Yeah,
really.
No, but
let's not pretend that anybody acted well in this movie, Earl. I'm sorry.
Was Ed Boon in the movie?
It's probably a cameo. Again, I didn't say
he's in the cast.
Well, I said they didn't act horrible.
But yeah, I mean that's fair. They're it's not like I've seen much worse, right? Like they act like the characters in the game.
I suppose
they act like they're from a B movie. They're not. Nobody here is going to win an Oscar, but nobody here is going to win a Razzie.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't think the Razzies were around yet. I'm pretty sure someone from this movie could have been at least nominated.
Yeah,
I think you guys are all giving this movie a pass because it's a big movie when we were kids. Like, and I think kids now will be like Five Nights at Freddy's. That was actually a good one.
I think you're being too harsh on it because you haven't seen it since then. Like the rest of us all watched it a week ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure
it actually is fun.
Bat around with it, but yeah.
Like I went in, Jeff, fully expecting to kind of come out how you're acting, like like, oh, this is entertaining. Like this is
actually, yeah. It's fun. Like I'm not going to say it's good. That's not the word I would use. Good is not the word, but it's fun. And it like. The characters in it all look like people from Mortal Kombat. Like they're all striking Mortal Kombat poses and doing Mortal Kombat moves. Like if I wanted a Mortal Kombat movie, that's essentially what I'm looking for when I walk in the door. Like I'm getting that.
Yeah, I would also say, and because I had to have this, because this is only after, I think this is between 2 and 3. It's like the franchise does start getting off. I mean, I think they keep a good hold on it. But the franchise does start getting really weird with like a bunch of characters and subplots and eventually time travel and
you mean the games?
Yeah, sorry, the games.
Do you guys remember the one game that had a Mario Kart mode?
No. Which one's that?
It was I want to say PS2 era. There was one that had a Mario Kart mode.
Yeah, they always had those weird mini games. Like their main hero dies in 5, and then he's resurrected in 7 or 8. Liu Kang, and then he becomes a god in 11. And then he resets the universe in 1. Yeah, the franchise gets
absurd.
Yes, it gets really absurd. So I'm like, okay, like the first 2, very much a tournament. Earthrealm wins the tournament. The other realms want to betray it, and we'll get to that in the second movie. But yeah, I thought it does a good job. I think it's extremely entertaining. It's some really good fights. My one big problem with I think Sonya only gets one fight in the movie, and that's versus Kano.
Yeah, I don't think she fights after that.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like I get that Liu Kang needs to fight him, but the whole kind of third act, she's not a damsel in distress. Like that's not how you portrayed her the rest of the movie. So yeah, but yeah, it's and I also say I'm happy this movie came out when it did, because I think 1 year later a lot more of that stuff would have been CG, like Goro and stuff. Because Goro holds up really well, Reptile does not.
No, Reptile looks ridiculous.
I mean, Goro also looks ridiculous, but it kind of fits. Like,
yeah,
like, all right, this is fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
But he holds up in the sense that he's a puppet, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But it's better than like Reptile just does. Like the CG does not age well at all. It's that really weird plasticky CG from the. It's like the Power Rangers movie CG where, yeah, there's too much shine on this, and I don't know. I don't even know if it was good back then. But yeah. And of course, I think the theme song's amazing.
Oh,
Yes,
the way this movie starts is so absurd. It's just like I press play and it just
Mortal Kombat
yells Mortal Kombat and then goes into like that club remix. Like, like so dumb.
I've seen this movie so many times, and I don't know why I always forget it. I always think of it as the end credits song, which it also is.
Yeah.
But the movie also just starts with that.
I was not expecting that. I was like, oh wow, we're going hard right from the start. And it's a catchy song.
Yes. I honestly bought the soundtrack for Mortal Kombat 2, the game, because it comes with this. The rest of it's like the background noise and some weird, not weird, but sound effects. So I'm like, I just skipped to this on the vinyl. I'm like, yeah, this is the good stuff. What is it? Techno Syndrome, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Good time at the movies. And this will be our last good time for some time.
Oh no. All right. So Earl, you came in hard right when we started. Said it was an S.
I think this is still probably one of the gold standards for video game movies. That is both a blessing and a curse because I do adore this movie. It's not a great movie, but as far as like, okay, I see the roots of video games in here. It follows the format. The characters are dressed and act like they do in the video games. It's it's not a slog. It's not a. This is kind of, this still kind of remains up there in terms of like actual gold standard. Not saying it's a high bar to cross, but
right.
Like I said, I think I've been very kind with the first 4 that we've seen. After this, I do think there's a bit of a shock going for the next 10 years.
Oh God.
Because I think the next one is the sequel.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
And then I think it's Wing Commander.
Yeah, that's not a good one either.
I think we do Tomb Raiders there, which is fine. Resident
All right,
Evil
let's do
movies
our
are-
tiers before we go into all this. Let's do our tiers for everybody.
Yeah. Where are you at, Earl?
I'm still sticking with S tier.
All right. I'm gonna go B, which is my highest so far. Tony, where are you at? Where are your kids at actually? Because they watched it with you.
My kids actually enjoyed it. They thought it was a decent movie. Now their opinions on movies are not particularly good. But like I tend to agree. I think it was quite entertaining. So I think I got to go A tier.
All right. So Tony's going a little bit higher. And Jeff, you didn't rewatch it. Where do you fall on this though?
Based on when I was a kid and I saw this in movie theater, I probably would have said A. We'll split the difference between A and F, which is probably what I'd give it now, and it's like like a C, whatever.
I really think you should revisit it though.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
should
but there's so many
it.
there's so many good TV shows on right now that I'm not going to.
It's not long. That's the one thing about it, though. It's only like an hour and a half long. It's
not
going
to do it. You know, it's an hour and a half. Me playing more fucking Expedition 33. That's what's an hour and a half right there.
You can you can do both at the same time.
You can put it on the back. Put it on the back. It does not ask it out of you.
All right, so we're all over the place here. S, A, B, and C. I don't know what that averages out to.
I think we call it an A.
I was gonna say I think you call it an A. It's like
all right.
S and A would be yeah.
So that overtakes the crown as best video game movie on our joint list so far.
Which is not a hard bar to crawl.
No.
I think it will stay up there for a while. Because I tell people one thing: if you think video game movies are bad, video game movie sequels are worse.
So Earl, what is our next film?
It's Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, God.
Find your animality, guys. Find your animality.
And everything that I said about this movie being smart to focus on 3 characters, and everything goes right out the window at the very start of the next movie. So.
All right. And Tony, just to circle back to something you had said, Golden Raspberries actually started in 1981. That was when the first ceremony was held. So they've been around for quite some time.
The Razzies?
Yeah, the Razzies. Was the March 31st, 1981. So that it would have been the 1980 film season that was the first ranking. So they've been around for 45 years. 44 years.
That is kind of insane. I feel like maybe I was not paying attention to awards. I wasn't paying attention to awards as much, but I really feel like I think when they really kind of got on my radar was when Halle Berry won hers, because it was her and
like
Catwoman, right?
Yeah, and then because I think she won. Was it the same year she won for Monster Ball? Or she had won for Monster Ball the year before. It was her and Sandy B, I think, who had gone. Because a lot of people don't go to accept their awards. And like the fact that she kind of showed up and was in good spirits about it. But I think a lot of it has just become mean-spirited. And also...
No, dude, nobody cares about the Razzies. And it is mean-spirited, and it's stupid.
And then the thing is, and this is just me being very pedantic and idiotic, is... I've seen a crap ton of movies, and the stuff they tend to put up, I'm like, you could dig deeper and find some stuff.
I mean, what I've seen of Catwoman is terrible, but also, like, I don't think we did an award show for that. I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah, and Catwoman is, it's a movie.
All I've seen is that basketball scene, and oh my god.
There's nothing like a good, bad basketball scene.
It is so bad.
Alien Resurrection has one, I believe.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
It's so bad.
That's a fun movie, though.
Escape from New York has one? No, Escape from... Oh, yeah. Because that's the one that he rides the tsunami.
Oh, God, yeah. I saw that in the theater.
All right. Well, Mortal Kombat Annihilation will be our next video game movie. We'll talk about that in a month or so. Yeah. And we'll be back next week with probably more Clair Obscura and some other stuff.
I'm going to play right now until I pass out on the couch.
All right. Well, Jeff, enjoy passing out playing a role-playing game.
Not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, it's
gonna be great. Yeah. We'll be back next week. Jeff, say goodnight.
Good night.